Matchup between Vero Beach's Dat Nguyen and Puerto Rico's Juan Cruz. Evenly matched on paper and both in great physical condition, this one had the makings of a classic. Now it's time for the tale of the tape. There was only a 1 pound difference between the fighters at weigh-in, but Dat Nguyen and his 12-1 record definitely has the edge in ring experience.
Sports, tonight's Fights Up, promoted by Tabella Entertainment and sanctioned by the New York State Athletic Commission Chairman. In attendance tonight, Melvina Lathan. The 3 judges scoring this bout on the 10-point must system: Luis Rivera, Frank Lombardi, and Matt Ruggiero. When the bell rings, the referee in charge of the action, Benji Estevez. And now, 6 rounds of boxing in the featherweight division. Introducing first to my left, fighting out of the blue corner, he's wearing blue with white trim, weighing in officially 123 pounds. His professional record, 5 wins and 2 losses. 1 win coming by way of a knockout from Caguas, Puerto Rico, Juan Pito Cruz. And his opponent to my right, wearing gold with black, weighing in officially 124 pounds. His professional record, 12 wins, 1 loss, 6 wins, coming by way of knockout. Hailing from Bien Hoa, Vietnam, and fighting out of Vero Beach, Florida, Dat Nguyen.
This promises to be exciting. Brian Adams taking a break. He will talk to the winner after. I'm joined by a world champion, Paulie Malignaggi, our special color commentator. Paulie, you always have a home here at Broadway Boxing, buddy.
Thank you, Nick. Always glad to be here.
And you've sparred Dat Nguyen, so tell us more. He's strong. He looks exciting. He's definitely aggressive.
Yeah, Dat likes to fight. Dat likes to be in a good fight, and as you can see from the opening bell, he came out very aggressive, and that's always his MO. Dat is going to be a kid who's going to be in a lot of exciting fights in his career.
The left-hander Cruz doesn't seem to be an issue at all.
Very aggressive start for that. I'll tell you, there was no feeling out process for this fight, huh?
So, this is scheduled for 8, and Nguyen just coming at him. Not abandoning the jab against the left-hander, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it's a mistake a lot of guys seem to make against lefties. They don't jab, but that seems to have it in control so far.
Tell us about 16-foot ring. Obviously a puncher's ring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a 16-foot ring obviously is going to cut the movement for anybody trying to box and move around, but I don't think these guys care so much that the ring is small. I think they'd rather fight in a phone booth if it was up.
Well, you know, Cruz is a guy who lacks power. He really doesn't have a lot of clout. 1 KO in 7 fights, so he better use this ring, however small. Now he's trying to come forward, arm punches all the way, Paulie.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to be able to match Dat's power. I've actually sparred Dat in a training camp in Vero Beach. We both have the same trainer, Buddy McGirt. And Dat doesn't care how big you are, how small you are. He comes to fight, and he doesn't really respect anybody's power, I'll tell you that. And I don't think he's going to respect Cruz's power tonight with only the 1 knockout.
You know, you doing it at 140 and you walk around, what, 147, 150?
Yeah.
You're doing it in terms of speed? With why a guy who's a feather?
I've used Dat in the past just to work on some speed. You know, he's a smaller guy than me, but I'll tell you, Dat boxes a big guy just like he boxes anybody his size. He comes out very aggressive, the same way you see him fighting right now, and he'll try to take you out each and every time.
That's just what he's doing. He's throwing bombs, but he is trying to come in off the jab, and Cruz backing up, trying to poke an occasional jab. He's circling to the right into Dat's power.
Yeah, Dat can actually set him up with the right hand if he picks his spot. And it seems like Dat is now trying to pick his spots, not trying to be as crazy aggressive anymore.
And Paulie, our good friend who couldn't be with us because of illness, Steve Farhood, tonight, pointed out to me, hey, you know, Dat's not the only Vietnamese fighter in recent history. The other guy, Skipper Kelp, if you remember.
Oh, Skipper Kelp, old school guy, yeah. I didn't know he was Vietnamese.
Hey, I learn something from Steve Farhood every day.
Yeah, Steve is a knowledgeable guy. Get better soon, Steve. Seems like Cruz trying to do a little holding and hitting on the inside right there. Not bothering that, though.
Closing out the first here, a spirited first round as you'd expect. These are featherweights scheduled for 8.
We'll continue with more Broadway boxing after this.
This Mexican Independence Day, Juan Manuel Marquez.
Nick Charles, Paulie Malignaggi, ringside here at BB King's on 42nd Street, New York City. Paulie, it's early and Dat doesn't need a lot of defense against a guy who really can't hurt him. But one of the things they talk about with Nguyen is his defensive deficiencies. What do you see?
Well, sometimes the knock on Dat can be that he likes too much to fight. Dat has a lot of talent when he wants to use it, but his mentality a lot of times is kill, 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 go for the knockout, be very aggressive, and sometimes he ends up getting hit a little more than he should. Not because he can avoid it, but because he chooses it. You know, Dat seems to have the mentality: if he doesn't hurt me, I'll still come forward and get hit anyway, as long as I'm getting to you. But it's not always the right mentality against the bigger punches that you'll face in the future. Although it can make for exciting fights.
Oh yeah, he's front pleasing. He's got one loss, a split decision 6th round fight a year ago. No disgrace there. So a lot of upside potential for Dat Nguyen. And he says his future is at super featherweight, so interesting, a 25-year-old may go down in weight.
Wait with the jab, Doc. Then you get rough with him. Earn your real estate. There you go. Do it again.
See, and touching on that defensive lapses, I mean, even in this fight, we've seen sometimes that has been fought with a couple of wild punches. You know, you can avoid them. See there, see? When he wants to make the guy miss, he can. He just, sometimes his mentality would just be to come forward and try to take the guy out.
Would a guy who's not necessarily a power puncher, but a skilled boxer such as yourself, take that little half step back and run this guy into some shots?
Yeah, exactly. He can set him up, and I think if Dat wants to, he could set this guy up. He's just getting a little excited at times.
But with his aggression, you could use Dat's aggression against him if you're skilled enough?
Yeah, you can basically catch him coming in a lot of times when he gets wild. But it's something that I know Buddy's been working on him in the gym. We have the same trainer, Buddy McGirt, who couldn't be here tonight. But, you know, I see Buddy work on it with him in the gym, and it's just a matter of changing his mentality, because Dat has all the talent.
You know, Brian Adams with us mentioned earlier between rounds that at least Dat doing a very smart thing against the southpaw, and that's go to him and be aggressive.
Yeah. I mean, well, we touched on the fact that Cruz has only one knockout, so there's not a lot of power to be respected here. And it doesn't seem like that is respecting him.
It's basically a sparring session, huh?
Yeah, and even though Dat is getting hit in spots, he's controlling these rounds.
Very solid, exciting, keeps a hot pace.
Sure does.
Cruz trying to use the ring as best he can. He's in the blue. Nothing on those shots, though. He doesn't want to get into a firefight with Dat Nguyen. Closing out the second, scheduled for 8.
More right after this break. Stay with us.
The following announcement is brought to you by Top
Dot Mortgage Update.
Brian Adams with us, Paulie Malignaggi, Nick Charles, ringside here at BB King's. Guys, Juan Cruz without power, and he's not able to box his way into winning rounds. Seems to be in a fight he can't win.
Well, he's not doing a good job holding Dat off. He's trying. It seems like he's trying to use the ring now, but Dat's closing the distance often in this fight.
But the key to it is, and I mentioned it to you in between rounds, Nick, is Dat is known as more of a finesse boxer, uses jab, try to counterpunch, but he came out aggressive, smothering the southpaw and not giving the southpaw a chance to use angles, those awkward angles. I think he's fighting an excellent fight against the southpaw.
Well, he's taken Cruz. Cruz has never been in this fight.
Yeah, he's not letting Cruz get into any kind of rhythm at all.
That's the key.
Cruz short. He's not throwing shots, just not letting that jab go.
And Paulie can attest to this as well. Once a smooth boxer get into a rhythm, he can give you fits and nightmares and frustrate the heck out of you.
Yeah, you get into that zone. And Brian can attest to it as well.
So, I mean, I'm quite sure the viewers have seen Paul Malignaggi fight plenty of times, and that's Paulie's MO. Once he gets into a rhythm, he's smooth, fluent, and it becomes easy mentally once you're in a rhythm.
Yeah,
and Dat never allowed his opponent to get in any rhythm.
Yep. As a matter of fact, a lot of times Cruz starts fighting that fight, which is the aggression fight. They start standing toe to toe, and obviously I don't think Cruz has the power to match Dat in that position.
Right, on paper, Dat has 50% knockout ratio, 6 knockouts and 12 wins, and Cruz have 1 knockout and 5 wins. So statistically speaking, he can't match Dat.
Well, Paulie's touching on power against overall skill. How about November? Ricky Hatton, Paulie Malignaggi?
Oh, yeah, we have that all set up, and I'm looking forward to that showdown at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas.
You know, I did your fight in Manchester, England. What a scene, huh? 58,000 people.
That was some scene. I'll tell you, Ricky's very famous out there, and we both saw just how amazing that whole environment was in that stadium that night. And I look forward to putting it on him on November 22nd.
One thing you're going to change is your hair, I know. But
oh yeah, it's already been changed. Make sure we don't grow back. I can't pull off the dreads just quite as good as Brian does.
I couldn't believe my eyes, man. We were sitting there saying, this is really becoming an issue real early.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was going to be that much of a problem. People were trying to hint it, but I
told Paulie he should have called me.
Yeah, I should have. But Brian was actually one of the people I thought of. I said, Brian did it. Lennox Lewis did it. I could do it. Not the case.
Yeah, he got a haircut halfway through that Lovemore Endo fight. And Juan Cruz all of a sudden opened up here at the end of the 3rd round a little bit.
More boxing right after this message.
So with Fios, I get more HD than cable, the fastest internet, HBO and Cinemax free for 30 days, and a DVR free for a year.
Yes, 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 and yes.
Nice. What about you?
We've got stuff also that's good.
Cable just can't compare to Fios. When Verizon brings fiber optics straight to your home, you get razor-sharp TV picture, the fastest internet, and crystal clear phone service, all for just $94.
Ready for the 4th. I guess Juan Cruz, sort of a moral victory. He put something together there in the 3rd round. But here we see Dat Nguyen in the gold and black, absolutely undeterred. He is coming forward.
Again, not allowing Cruz to get into any sort of rhythm to start the round, and that's key. You want to lay down the law right at the beginning of the round like he's doing.
Nick Charles, Brian Adams with Paulie Malignaggi, the IBF light welterweight champion of the world.
Right, that's the key, Paulie. You want the guy to get off the stool thinking defense and not offense.
Yep.
And that jumps right on Cruz here and get him thinking defensively.
And it really sets the tone for the remainder of the round. So far, that's how the rounds have been going. That has set the tone and basically made the round his way for the entire duration of each round.
Paulie, you may not be the perfect guy to ask because you outweigh this guy by so much, but sparring with him, can you judge how great a whack Dat Nguyen has? I mean, does he hit that hard? You have a lot of KOs.
Obviously that's smaller than me, but Dat will fight King Kong if he could. He likes to fight, and he'll throw down with anybody. And I've seen him in the gym with guys even bigger than myself, and he's throwing hard at them. So sometimes, he takes a good punch, he throws a good punch.
Definitely has a good chin, they say.
That's the winner's mentality, getting in the ring with anybody.
Yep. And he likes a good fight, like we said. He just keeps taking it to Cruz.
Nguyen pressing forward, digs the hook to the body. And now it's Cruz dangerously squared up. Now he'll retreat, try to create a little space, but he's not punching. And moving backward, he just got rocked by a right hand. Now Cruz with a couple of free shots as Nguyen allows himself to be outworked just briefly. Now he's plowing forward again, letting his hands go.
But if you watch, and the viewers watch, Cruz is in the left, nice left hand. But if you watch, Cruz's movement is strictly back, strictly backwards.
Can't do anything when you're going that way.
And he seems like he's in a survival mode, and what I mean by that is he's only punching when Dat punches at him. He's not initiating anything.
So even if he's having some success landing some shots, it's ineffective because he's fighting too defensive.
Yep, exactly.
Not in a position really to counter to punch and land that way either. There he tried with that power shot, the left hand, and Nguyen retreated just for a moment, but now center of the ring as he'll try to feint his way in. Cruz trying to use that ring. but just not putting anything together offensively to win rounds.
We'll continue with more Broadway boxing after this.
This Mexican Independence Day, Juan Manuel.
It's Dat Nguyen. His single loss happened a year ago. Lost a split decision, I should say. But he's on a roll now, and he's had things his way against Juan Cruz. Paulie, a question for you and Hatton. If anybody's style is made for you, it's Ricky Hatton. Not to say he's not a hellacious puncher and a dangerous one.
Yeah, I think styles make fights, and me and Ricky has the potential to be a very exciting fight because of it's always a boxer against an aggressive puncher like Ricky. And I think he also plays into my hands. You know, my game plan will be obviously to box. His game plan will be obviously to take it to me. We can do it any way he wants to do it, but I think I'm a smarter fighter than him in the end.
Did you have more dimension than him?
I think I bring more dimensions to the table, yeah. Basically, I've said it to a lot of people. His A game and my A game, we both come with our A game, and my A game's going to be better than his at the end of the day.
Well, Paul, you know, me and you have spoken about the matchup with Ricky Hatton. You said something real interesting that maybe you might want to share with the viewers, maybe not. But Ricky Hatton relies on lunging. Mm-hmm. He relies on leverage that way with his punches. Mm-hmm. I thought the game plan should be to stay close and give angles on the inside. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know. What do you feel you want to bring to the table?
You know, in spots, you got to give him movement. In spots, I think definitely you can't give up ground. The problem with Ricky is a lot of times the referees and whoever's obviously refereeing the fight, officiating the fight, will let him get away with a lot of holding. So it makes it difficult to hold your ground against the guy who, as soon as you're holding your ground, is going to tie you up and start mauling and wrestling. You know, because the problem with a Ricky Hatton fight is the rules are different than anybody else. The only in Ricky Hatton fights will there be complaints about the referee breaking too early. We saw Miguel Cotto fight Antonio Margarito. Kenny Bayless broke them every time there was a clinch. They fought inside almost the whole fight, but anytime there was a clinch, they were broken instantly. Ricky Hatton, anytime there's a clinch, they expect the guy to be able to work. I don't understand that, why it's a different set of rules for him. Anytime there's a clinch, the referee's supposed to break you, and that's the rules of boxing. Yet Ricky Hatton can hold and hit, and he gets a lot to complain like he did last year when he lost to Mayweather, because when he was holding, he wanted to be able to work. You can't hold a hit in boxing. It's just the rules.
Well, in Hatton's defense, they say there's only one Ricky Hatton, right?
Oh, it sure is. And there'll be no more after November 22nd.
That's huge. You know, Paulie, you would never expect anything less than Hatton at his prime. But let's watch
good action
now.
Here.
Yeah. Dad actually shook Cruz up with a left uppercut on the inside.
And you see Dad giving little smiles in there. Dad loves to fight, sometimes more than he should, but I'll tell you, he's excited.
Well, he's inside. He knows that Cruz really can't hurt him, but Cruz has landed some shots. Hasn't deterred Nguyen at all. Now he creates a little distance. Now he's in close. Boy, Cruz missing the mark there as we complete 5 here at BB King's on 42nd Street.
SNY.TV, the latest info, year-round TV home of the New York Jets.
Let's go. Okay. I got it. both guys awaiting the decision.
After 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Luis Rivera has it even, 57-57. Judge Frank Lombardi has it 59-55. And Matt Ruggiero has it 60-54. By the winner, by majority decision, Dat Nguyen.
After a 6-round war, Nguyen was awarded a close majority decision to improve to 13-1. Up next, it's our main event between Randall Bailey and Dairoe Salas, 2 guys with a combined 67 victories. Stick around, there's more Broadway boxing after this.
Introducing Optic 1050, the incredible high-powered super binoculars with 1,000